Okay, so I didn't realize I didn't film an intro for this and then started to upload it. And I was like, oh yeah, I should go back and like double check, make sure everything's good. Yeah, I did not film an intro. So it's going to cut to a video of me before we left for the first day. And then from there, it's just going to cut straight into me on day 2 talking about what happened on day 1. So I apologize for the lack of foresight on my part. But all I was thinking about was seeing the man himself. So that's my excuse.
Where are we going today with?
We're going to dragonsteel.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
See Brandon Sanderson and cry probably.
Yeah. Have you had a good time in Utah?
Yeah, it's been super fun. We've met a lot of like really cool people through the 17 Shard Discord. And we've been like going to a ton of meetups and met a lot of con people. So hopefully we'll have like a lot of friends to hang out with today.
All right, let's do it.
So we're getting ready for day 2 of Dragonsteel Con. This is how I ended my day yesterday, my badge. So we got some cool ribbons from the Sanderson's Collectors Guild, 17 Shard, their podcast Iceborne, and just some other fun ones collected from some other people. I got some really cool stuff yesterday. The biggest one, got Arcanum Abundant, because I actually don't own a copy of this. And I didn't have a signing, but I got very lucky in between panels. We got a signature, so that was very, very cool. I also picked up Dan Wells' Partials, and this also was signed by him. He was just at his booth, like right when we went into the exhibitors hall, so that was cool. Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan? Yes, okay. Didn't want to mispronounce that. We got that one signed as well. And I went to, oh shoot, I actually put this book away so that I could read it with me today. I got, I forget what it's called. It's a Mary Robinette Kowal book though. And I went to her booth and I was like, if you had to recommend one of your books, what would it be? And she kind of was like, what do you like? And I ended up picking up, I'll put the name of it on the screen. But yeah, she signed that too beautifully. She had like a beautiful pen she signed it with. And she also had like some really fun stuff at her booth where we didn't get to finish it because we kind of went to her booth late, like right before the exhibitors hall closed. But where you can get like a badge, and it was like all part of her like space book stuff, and be like an astronaut or whatever. We went to Whitlash, which was one of the panels they had, which is where they literally did Quiplash, but all the questions were Cosmere or Skyward themed, just, general Sanderson themed stuff. And that was really fun to like watch people play that. And they were doing puns in between. Obviously we couldn't film any of the panels. There was like a big sign we came in that said like no filming, and we asked because we were like, oh, we were gonna film like a vlog, like is that okay? And he's like, yeah, if you're gonna film like cosplayers, just like ask permission, but like obviously you can't film any of the panels. And I was like, okay, awesome, thanks. So we did that. We walked around the games room for a good bit. That's where they had all the photo ops. That's where they have all the prizes. Whenever we picked up our badges, they had like a little ticket that you can put in for the prize pool. So that's like what those little tickets were for. They also, with the badges, gave out a, I don't have it with me over here. It's like on our counter over there. But it was like a booklet with like a bunch of samples of like the authors that were going to be here and like some of the books that were being like offered at the convention. So I thought that was really fun. But yeah, so we're entering the prize pool today because we forgot them at our hotel yesterday. So we're doing that today. I'm trying to think what else we did. Oh, that we went to the exhibitors hall for like 2 hours and got food and lunch. And after that, they had the welcome ceremony at like 2 o'clock, and that was really fun. It was very short. They had what I believe was obviously Dragonsteel employees come out on the stage. They did like a kind of like carol, like musical theater kind of number. It was very, very cute. And then Brandon came out and like talked for a minute, and then that literally was like 15 minutes because we were staying for the Intentionally Blank live recording, and we had to wait about like 45 minutes in between that. That was super cool because they filmed 2 episodes because it was a 2-hour slot. They filmed 2 episodes of Intentionally Blank, One of the parts was a Q&A, which was kind of fun to watch. And then after that, there was a panel that in the same room, was all in Rochar, which is like the biggest hall. And he did a 5 favorite things with Christopher Polini and Mary Robinette Cowell. So they were very fun to watch. After the dinner break, we went to like about an hour of the Hour of Painting with Howard Leon, and that was cool. It definitely was more focused towards like if you are an artist, because they had like a model set up there, and like it was him and 2 other artists who were painting. I did not catch their names because we came in kind of late. But yeah, so they were painting the model, and so there's obviously a lot of people in the crowd too that had like journals or iPads, whatever, and they were also drawing or painting the model. So that was cool. Definitely wasn't for us though, because we were not artists. We were not there to do that, but it was still cool to watch for a little bit and listen to them talk, and people were asking questions while they were painting. So definitely, if you are an artist, recommend going to that if they have it again next year. Let's see. And then after that, we went to a Stormlight 5 theory crafting panel, which is where they had some panelists, like 2 of them were beta readers. They had one YouTuber who was bookborn, and I can't remember who the first guy was. I can't remember like what he did. I think he might have been some just like a community member, but like up there, you know. I don't know how to describe that. But they had like a PowerPoint, and everyone would vote by putting up like the Bridge 4 salute. Like if you were like, oh yes, I think this will happen in Stormlight 5, you like throw up the salute, and then if not, you just like wouldn't do anything. But that was fun. The other thing they have this year, I heard they were doing this for Mistborn last year, but it was a little bit more secretive. So you picked up your badge and you got to pick, like we did Kitson, and I have like your call sign on there. And there's there's a YouTube video when you scan the QR code on here, and it tells you what to do. And there's like 4 different things you have to do. I think we completed 2 of them yesterday. I don't know if we will complete them, because like I have not read Skyward like my friends have, but like there's a lot of other stuff going on in the convention that this was like not our priority. It's super fun, and like the prizes they're giving out is really cute. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Part of the one of the things they are doing with the Skyward stuff for this year is, oh wow, you only need 1 more.
Yeah.
Nice. Because like one of the things was, so there's doom slugs in a lot of the panels and presentations, and so you have to take pictures of like 3 of them. And let's see, the other one was just like taking pictures in the game room, like using the photo ops to do that. One of them is like finding like these secret QR codes. A lot of the exhibitors have them, and then the other one is getting these tokens, and you have to collect 8 different ones. And I'm gonna turn in, because like they've been giving out like little stickers, so I'm gonna turn in the ones that I have done today, and like we'll see if I finish them. But part of them is collecting 8 of these tokens, and they all have to be different. And a lot of the exhibitors have these. I'm just gonna like kind of show you what they are. But yeah, a lot of the exhibitors have these. A lot of the dragonsteel employees have these, or just like volunteers. So you literally just kind of have to ask people for them. But yeah, it's a fun little like scavenger hunt game thing. But yeah, that's kind of like the overall day yesterday. There was, we didn't buy Defiant. We didn't stand in line for a numbered copy, so we left after that. There was like a Sunlit Man book club that I wanted to go to, but honestly, we did party a lot this weekend. So last night we were just tired, ready to come back here, and we were like, let's get a full night's sleep so we can like fully enjoy tomorrow. We'll enjoy the Defiant release party, and everything else. So yeah, so we're gonna go do that now and hopefully have another super fun day at Dragonsteel.
Alright, as you can tell, I am no longer in a hotel room. I am back in my home. My cat's probably gonna be running around a good bit. I wanted to film this like while I was in the airport coming home, but we ended up pulling an all-nighter because of how early our flight was, and I was just exhausted. So now it's Thanksgiving, so it's technically 2 days after the last day of the convention. But I still wanted to talk about the second day because it was a lot of fun. And like the whole point of this vlog was to kind of just like show people what to expect if you want to go to Dragonsteel, if you are thinking about it but you're not sure, just kind of seeing what the actual experience is and just like hearing somebody talk about it, because like I couldn't really find anything originally when I was looking for it. I found like one video and I was like, that was cool, but I wish it was like longer. I wish there was more information, and that's not anything on them. They were probably just filming it to have a good time, and that's what it is. And I mean, I also was filming mine to have a good time, but also just because I thought it'd be nice to like have some more information. So yeah, I'm back home now. I'm just gonna go like I did with the last thing, what I did on Monday. This is what we did on Tuesday. We ended up getting there a little bit late. We went out and got breakfast. There's a really great German bakery, like really close to the convention center, called, it's either Vossens or Vosens, I'm not sure. But it was really, really delicious, so we had breakfast there. So we were a little late getting into the convention that day, but we showed up for Cosmere Trivia, and that was really, really fun. We did, they just did like Kahoots. They did several Kahoots. Let's see, there was like 4 of them. It was like Cosmere, Dragonsteel, the Sideovers, and something else. I can't remember what it was for the life of me. Anyways, so we stayed for most of that, except the winners got to go and do like Jeopardy at the end. We didn't stay for that because we wanted to have time to go to the Dragonsteel store. And on Monday, a friend of ours sat in line for the Dragonsteel store for 2.5 hours. So we were fully expecting that. So we left Cosmere Trivia a little bit early, like after the initial Cosmere, or all the Kahoots that we did, and they were moving on to Jeopardy. So we went to the Dragonsteel store. We ended up staying in line only about an hour on Tuesday. Definitely the line was a lot shorter on Tuesday. It was very fun to see everyone in line. Everyone was reading Defiant that had come out the night before, or just other books they'd picked up at the convention. They had literally everything under the sun. Everything you've ever seen stocked in the Dragonsteel online store was, you know, there. All the Kickstarter boxes, all the swag boxes, or everything they had promoted on social media before, like the Trust Cups and the Yumi ramen bowl, like all of that was was in the Dragonsteel store. Literally anything and everything under the sun. It was beautiful. They had like this stunning like actual physical store built right in the middle that like had like lights behind the Dragonsteel logo, and it had art of the characters on it. It was very cool. They had all the leather bounds in there for you to look at and to purchase. It was really cool. I ended up not leaving with anything because I spent all of my money on books. Actually, it's not true. I did get an Edge Dancer pin because that is my Knights Radiant order. But just prepare yourself. If you are standing in line for the Dragonsteel store, not only are you going to stand in line for the actual store itself, you are also going to stand in line for checkout. The checkout line took about half an hour. I think it was like 20 to 30 minutes. I've heard from our friend, she was in line for about 25 minutes. We were in line probably about 30 minutes. I left and went to the Hoyd and his magic systems panel. I didn't stay in there too long. I stayed in there for a little bit just because I was curious as to what it was. It was just like a fan panel with people talking about Hoyd, and you know, I mean, it's, you know, factual information based on the book, stuff like that, and some theorizing. I only stayed there for a few minutes because I got this. This is from Mary Robinette Cowell's booth, and basically to get your little astronaut badge, you had to fill out all of these, you had to do all of these tasks, and it was just, as you can see, like going to different booths and doing some different tasks, and that is how you ended up. I need to bring down my lanyard. I put it up on my wall so I could look at it yesterday while I was gaming. This is what I ended up looking like at the end of the convention. So I became an astronaut. They took my picture. So anyways, you got this little badge and you got to fill it out with a typewriter. Yeah, I'm not gonna show that one close up because it has a lot of my, not like any bad personal information, but just kind of like everything about my height, weight, eye color, all of that. I'm gonna put that back on there for a second. But yeah, that's the pin I ended up getting. There were people going out handing out these Vote Mercy combs, and I do have the actual flyer as well. These were super cute. It was presumably a couple, a guy and a gal, handing out these. And they were really, really committed to their bit. I really appreciated that. They were super cool. Oh, and I did say this is actually kind of where, so I left that panel early. I finished this, got my little astronaut badge, and I turned in everything for my cadet stuff. So I got all the stickers, and I graduated to a pilot. So it was just doing all the puzzles, turning in the answers. But it was super fun. We definitely had a good time with it. I'm really excited because I don't know if anybody saw, but dragonsteel next year is 3 days. And I think that kind of gives a lot more time allotted for doing this type of stuff, because I know with the year before with the Lost Metal, they did like a scavenger hunt with finding waxes and finding Wayne's hat. I believe is what it was. If I remember someone telling me that correctly. But yeah, I think I was a little put off by this on the first day, because I was like, well, that's a lot of time spent running around doing stuff that's gonna like dig into the time that I'm trying to spend going to panels, or like playing games, doing whatever, like even just walking around the exhibitors hall. So the second day I had a little bit more free time, which was why we were able to finish this. So I'm excited that it's 3 days next year, because I think that allots for a lot more time for this kind of stuff, which is really fun, and I'm excited we got to finish it. What we did get when you finish those is that you graduate, so you get your little pilot badge here, and then in between when you would hand in your stickers. These are all origami. I don't know if I will ever do these because I've never been good at origami. Like, my teachers would be like, all right, fold it hot dog style, and I'm folding it hamburger style in school, because it's not my expertise is folding, apparently. But yeah, so there's just a lot of fun activities to do. So that's why I'm excited that it's longer next year, because even if you don't get to do everything you wanted to do one day, there's always time to do it on another day. What else? Oh yeah, the last thing that we did before the release party, like at least like scheduled event, was the spoiler Q&A, which I'm not gonna say anything about, but like I will say just like it's Brandon getting on stage, people coming up and asking questions, and him either answering or rafoing people and saying like, hey, I'm working on it, or go read it in the book, whatever. He did give out stuff for people that got rafoed and things like that. So just like, you don't go up there, you stand in line forever, and then Brandon's like, rafo. So that was at least nice that they were like giving stuff out for that. So the next thing that we did, and this is something I really do encourage everyone to do at some point at your con. So we walked around and I talked to, because mind you, it's a book convention. There's a lot of authors there. And while there's a lot of authors that you're probably really, really excited to see, there's also a lot of new authors there. Or maybe just authors that you've never heard of that are trying to make a name for themselves and would like for you to talk to them. So even though I wasn't planning on buying any more books, and I would preface it with that when I'd walk up to these authors, I'd be like, hey, like I'm over my weight limit on my suitcase, which was true. I was really scared about getting home with, because I bought so many books my first day. Go up and talk to these authors. I literally was like, hey, I'm over my weight limit, but can you pitch your book to me? And like, can I take a card so I can go home and research it later? So literally, I have a stack this thick of cards, and I got a couple bookmarks, and also this is from the last, S.J. Blaze. She had character cards. So these were really cool. Like, it's really cool to see what the authors like chose to do, because that's what, some people did bookmarks with their book on it, which was super cool, because like I'm gonna read, I need bookmarks. Do I have 1,000 bookmarks already? Yes, but I'm gonna go look in my drawer one day and be like, oh yeah, what is this, and go look what this is up. Like, I plan to look at all these authors anyways, because I have a stack of cards this thick. But this is something I really do encourage people to do, because not only like you might pick up a book that you really, really like. There was a lot of very eccentric authors, and just like, I mean, this one's an artist card. I picked it up from artists that like I thought their stuff was cool, but my intent that day was 100% the authors. A lot of them have stuff where you can get like free ebooks through them too, so you can literally get free stuff just by going and talking to people. That's also how like people were like, oh, how'd you get so many ribbons? I talked to people. I literally just went and talked to people. These are 17 shard. This one, the Karen and Find Out, I got from the dragonsteel publicity people, or not publicity, editing, publishing booth? I can't remember. Same place I got the Secret Projects one, the Sanderson Collectors Guild. These I just got from various authors that I talked to, and they had ribbons at their booth. So if you're wanting to go and you want to get ribbons, the only reason mine are like on different sides and stuff is because they're different lengths, and I didn't want to do the whole thing like that. Just go talk to people. Like, that's the point. Their booths are there. They want to talk to people. They want to talk about their books. And then, like, literally you could go through these at a later date when you're looking for something else to read and go, man, I remember, you know, like, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Dito Abbott? I don't know. This person, though. They had a really, really eccentric booth, and they had all this stuff that they had hand illustrated for their book. They have one book that they've written, at least that they were advertising at Dragonsteel. I remember how eccentric their booth was and like how eccentric of a person they were. And so like I look at this card and I'm like, oh yeah, like they had a really cool booth. Let me go look into that book. Join the mailing list, receive the first couple chapters. Like, it's stuff like that where there's so many people where it's like, even if you buy straight from the author, you can get them signed. You know, stuff that you don't get when you buy from Barnes and Noble. And like not the experience that you get when you go to Barnes and Noble. Because I literally went to like, I think every author in there and was like, hey, like I can't take any more books home. I'm over my weight limit, but can you please tell me about your book? Because not only like they're there to tell you that, so it makes them feel good that somebody wants to hear about it, but also it gives you so much to add to your TBR that's already way too big anyways, but you would be supporting a smaller author or just finding something new that you maybe wouldn't have thought that you would have liked. So I highly encourage everybody to do that. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was like probably one of the most fun things was just talking to everybody and hearing what everyone had to say about their book. Okay, so I went to go find it because I think I lost the card, but this experience made so much of an impact on me that I wanted to find it. So this is Dark Tidings, the Darkborn Saga, book 1 by Ryan O'Neill. And I walked up to this booth and I, you know, said my spiel, hey, I'm over my weight limit, but I'm collecting cards so I can, you know, look at these books later. Will you pitch your book to me? And there was like 3 guys sitting at the booth, and this guy went, well, do you want a proud dad's pitch or do you want the author's pitch? And I was like, you have a pitch for your son's book? And he was like, yeah. And so I was like, I want to hear the proud dad pitch. And so his dad pitched the book to me, and then, you know, Ryan O'Neill kind of followed it up with a little bit more. I got his card, but because it was such a sweet interaction, it made a lasting impression on me, and so much so that I cannot find his card. I know I picked it up. It just must have gotten lost in the chaos of traveling, but so much so that I literally just went through Dragonsteel's website and went through every single one until I found it. And this is a book that I will read because that interaction made a lasting impression on me. So do it. It's not gonna do any harm. Of course, authors want you to buy the book, but literally, I just went through all of that to find it because that interaction made a lasting impact on me. So the Dragonsteel publicity people, they had a free raffle. You got 2 tickets from them every single day. They did a free raffle, and I actually won something. I won a little ornament. Is it from 2020? Yes, but I still won a stormlight ornament. So yeah, the last thing was the release party, which was super cool. So after I got my stack of author cards, we went into the release party, played some Kahoot beforehand. That was fun. And then Brandon and his wife Emily came out on stage and they talked, gave us some announcements, which was really cool. They announced that they're working on a bookstore / headquarters / event hall for Dragonsteel. I believe they said they bought the land for it, but that it is, you know, something they're working on and something that they're going to work on building. It's going to take several years because construction on something that massive and construction in general, it's a lot. So we'll have that out in Utah in a couple years. Other than that, they talked about the Kickstarter they're doing next year for the Words of Radiance Leatherbound. And they also as well announced, those are the 2 that I remember the most. And if there's more, go watch the live stream. It's fine. I'll link it in the bio or whatever.
But yeah, so that was cool. And then Brandon did do a speech where he talked about Define a bit, but then also just kind of gave some general life advice. And to wrap it up, he read an interlude from Stormlight 5. And that was awesome. I'm not going to spoil that for anybody that doesn't want it spoiled. I considered leaving because I didn't want anything spoiled. It was mostly spoiler free, but there still was some stuff that I was like, about, even though it was just like an interlude, there was still some characters in it that I was like, what are you doing, Brandon? Like, what's going on here? The Dragonsteel store, I believe, was still open for an hour after that. There was still some exhibitors that were hanging out, even though the exhibitors hall was closed. What we did do very last minute, because the line was so long all day that we didn't get a chance to go in, was Hoyd's Secret Museum. And this is something that I really recommend, especially if you're a big Cosmere fan. Absolutely 100% recommend standing in line for it and going in. We stood a very short line. Definitely not as bad as it had been the entire day. I got a picture with Nightblood in front of this, and yeah, I have a little bit of B-roll that I took in there. I don't think I'm gonna play it on screen, because if you haven't been in there and you plan on going next year, and I'm hoping that they will have it next year because they had it last year, from what I heard, so hopefully they will have it again next year. But it is something really cool that I recommend going into. It has a lot of artifacts from the Cosmere that they've created, and it's very cool to kind of see it in a physical form. I'm not going to really spoil like what's in there. There was like a mist cloak in there, and there's a lot of really cool stuff in there from the Cosmere. But yeah, that kind of wraps up Dragonsteel 2023. Like I said, I'm back home now. If you're traveling from somewhere, consider, I didn't know this was a thing, you can buy oxygen at pharmacies out there, because a lot of tourists are not used to the air quality, because we literally went to a canyon like a day before Dragonsteel and walked up the hill and could not breathe. A hill, and I was like, I know I'm not this out of shape. And then our friend that is from there was like, it's the air. And I was like, no way. But it makes sense. So yeah, consider that if you're gonna go hiking, or if you're gonna go hiking, wait until you've adjusted to the air, because that was crazy. If you plan on traveling, I would definitely, like, if you're traveling and you want to make friends, definitely find a Discord community, but also get there like a day ahead of time. We went on a couple days early just because we have friends out there that we were going to hang out with. But as far as making con friends, like, so many people went out for lunch, dinner. There's like, people will go out for drinks. If you are of age, like, just highly recommend that. It's obviously everybody's there for the same reason. You have the easiest icebreaker ever. What's your favorite Sanderson book? Like, literally, it was so easy to talk to people, because, like, you know, at first everyone's like, hey, nice to meet you, I'm so-and-so, and then you're all like, where are you from? What do you do? And then the second it's like, what's your favorite Sanderson book? It's just nonstop talking. So you have the easiest icebreaker in the world to make friends. But yeah, I think that about wraps up my Dragonsteel 2023 experience. It was super fun. I will be back next year. They're doing 3 days next year. That's what they announced it during the release parties, that they're doing 3 days next year instead of 2, which is very, very exciting. So I will be there all 3 days. You better believe it. And I also will be saving up exponentially more money to spend next year as well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them if I'm able to. Just about travel, the convention, you know, what to expect, whatever else. I just kind of hope this helps people have an idea for when they do go for your first year, or maybe you went this year and felt like you didn't get the full experience, or maybe, you know, you went by yourself and wasn't able to make friends. You know, I don't know. I just hope it helps in some sort of way. But yeah, my name is Bug, and I'll see you next year at Dragonsteel 2024. Bye.